I'm out of here after this. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? This is an out of the theater reaction for Christopher Nolan's latest, The Odyssey. This is just my out of the theater reaction. The social embargo is lifted, but the review embargo doesn't lift for a couple days. So I'm just gonna give my thoughts as I'm walking out of here. So make sure if you're brand new to the channel, you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. Trying to get to 300,000 by the end of the year. You hit that button, I think we can do it. All right, so I don't use this too often, this word. Awesome, masterpiece. It is exactly what they say it's going to be, this kind of epic, kind of almost biblical.
Well, this is going to upset the white boys. Nerdrotic is not going to like this. Geeks, gamers, Midnight's Edge, they're not going to like this when other white men are saying this is awesome. Ooh, I can't wait for the videos we're going to make between, you know, the chud white boys versus the DEI in favor of white boys. This is going to be hilarious.
Adventure, and it's just what Christopher Nolan does with the masterful performance of Matt Damon as Odysseus. I mean, the performances in general, whether it's Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya.
Oh, nigga, get to Lupita. What about Lupita? That's all we care about. Lupita.
Charlize Theron. I mean, the list goes on and on. Robert Pattinson, great as the villain here, but it's a long movie and it deserves to be every second. And what Nolan does really well in this movie, besides everything, is the fact that they are going to make this, you know, the fantastical stuff, or the things that are going to happen, and the creatures that are in there. It all feels real, and the CGI doesn't feel like those big kind of over-the-top CGI as a CGI monster. It feels almost like Del Toro-esque at some points, but it feels like so real. And I was just locked in from start to finish. They set things up. The way he storytells, the way he always storytells, is interesting in all of his movies. The story devices that he does, but this in particular.
Now, listen, you can't take Christian Harlan too serious. Christian Harlan is a known fence sitter, and sometimes he does flip flop. So I take what he says with a huge grain of sea salt. I've seen another reviewer. It's a masterpiece. It's brilliant. I'm just like, y'all, come on, man. I think they're kind of getting ready for the pushback that's going to happen after the rest of the regular casual fans and then the hardcore staunch opponents of this movie see it. It's either going to be you either like it or you hate it, and I think that's what they're kind of getting ready for, to kind of hedge their bets. Like, okay, get ready for this wave of negative reviews coming. So I take Christian Harloff 50-50 at what he says. You know, I don't take everything he says serious, but I'm just curious.
In the way that he does it, and he cuts back and forth to certain things, and going into if you know the Odyssey, you know the Iliad, you know the things that happen here. It really ties in very well, and it is just masterful storytelling for what Nolan does. The music is fantastic, but what I was wondering the way that they were going to do it is how was it going to go from the beginning to middle to get you invested in everything that Odysseus is going through mentally, everything else, and how does it deliver at the end? Because that to me, it's going to be, if this is a payoff that works, then the movie is going to succeed, and then it works times 1,000. And even in the movie itself, Odysseus is like an old school Bourne, if you will. There's so much, and the action, the way that the violence plays, it doesn't have to be over the top gory. There's some creepy, dark stuff in this movie too. And again, it's not just gratuitous. It all makes sense for what is happening inside of the film. So this is a great.
The fact that he didn't mention Lupita's performance in this movie is a red flag for me, because that's one of the main points of this movie, is the fact that she was cast as the Helen of Troy, and for him to kind of skirt over and not even mention that part when that's pretty much everybody's making their videos about Helen of Troy. Like, you got people in these thumbnails putting Sam Jackson in a blonde wig as Lupita Nyong'o. That's how bad it's gotten with these people. So for him to kind of miss all that, very telling. That's why I say I take Christian with 50-50 grain of salt. Like, nigga, okay, bro, I hear what you're saying, but I don't believe everything you're saying.
Movie, one of my favorites of the year, if not my favorite. Probably have to see this one again. I want to see this one again, but again, I use the word epic, I use the word masterpiece, I use the word biblical, and I don't. If you watch my channel, you know that I don't just use those words loosely. This movie floored me. Was in awe. Sat there for a second when the credits rolled and said, wow, love this movie. Highly recommend it. Definitely see it in IMAX. The whole entire thing is in IMAX. So that's my initial thoughts as I walked out of the theater for The Odyssey.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, let's go here. Let's go here.
What's up, guys? Steven from Nope or Dope Reviews. This is my quick out of theater reaction of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Full review on the channel once the embargo drops. But guys, just my quick thoughts. I'm exhausted coming out of this movie. It's about 2 hours and 45 minutes, but I'm exhausted in a good way. I just had to take in so much of this epic storytelling from Christopher Nolan. This is his biggest, most epic movie of all time in scale and scope. He does things in this movie that I've never seen from a Christopher Nolan movie. There's horror elements that were just amazing. The action sequences in this are great, jaw-dropping landscapes from his cinematographer Hoyt.
Man,
just
get to the
beautifully
performances,
shot.
man.
This isn't shot in the volume. There isn't green screen. This is shot on beautiful landscape and beautiful water, just like this behind me. The score is again scored by the great Ludwig Göransson, who just does an awesome job complementing everything Christopher Nolan does. And the score in this, or heard any of his other scope, the actors in this are at their game. Matt Damon as Odysseus, this is probably his best performance as an actor, and I hope he gets an Academy Award nomination for this. But the heart of this movie is Penelope and Tom Holland's Telecummus, I can't even talk, Telecummus, the son of Odysseus. Those are the three main characters in this, and they do a fabulous job. But someone that just came out of the blue that I haven't seen.
I hear you, but everybody is bothered by that casting, okay? Doesn't matter what her screen time is. It's the fact that they brought that Christopher Nolan, one of their revered older white men, right? They celebrate this man, went with a black woman to play a white woman. It's a very big deal, okay? It's a extremely big. I don't know if you don't be on these YouTube things like that. It's a very fucking big deal to these people, okay?
In a long time is Samantha Morton's Cersei. She just steals the scene she's in. This is one of the scenes I talked about that was part of the horror genre, and I know about the book a little bit. I knew who Cersei was, but I just wasn't expecting horrific, crazy stuff in this movie that I just never seen him do before. This is a top 3 Christopher Nolan movie, recency bias aside. I can't say it's my favorite one of all time just yet. I'm just gonna have to sit on it. But this is gonna be good for the general audience. They can pick up on it fairly quickly because of the way it's non-linear, not linear.
So skipping all that. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Everybody running scared. Why is everybody running scared? I don't understand. Why is everybody running scared? This is one of the only few white boys I despise, but I'm looking forward to his review of this. I despise this dude. Okay? But I'm looking forward to him pick this thing apart, especially when it gets to Lupita's casting. Okay? Trust me, when he yeah.